Now, I know I said I was going to post more frequently, but hear me out. For those of you who didn't see the post on the site formerly known as Twitter, in November we had to, before Thanksgiving, which really sucked, but we had to put Chance down. She had a rare form of kitty cancer. The vet's recommendation was to put her down because there really was no cure for it. And it hit me a lot harder than I thought it was going to. I knew I was going to be affected, but I didn't think I was going to be affected as hard as it has affected me. But her brother was the main focus, and he got through his mourning process pretty quickly. It lasted about 2 weeks. But then he started mimicking stuff that she was doing, becoming a lap cat, being a pain in the ass. She used to be meowing for no apparent reason, like she was dying or something. I could leave. I left for a week to go to a funeral for a friend of mine, a former friend of mine, I guess. But, well, I guess a friend of mine. But I went to the funeral, and I was gone for a week. And when I came back, he acted like there was nothing. Oh, you're back. It's fine, whatever, and stuff. However, I go to check the mail, and I'm gone for 5 minutes, and I come back, and he acts like I freaking abandoned him. So he's been quite the challenge, but he's my little boy. And people are like, oh, are you going to get another cat? And I'm like, no. He's very, very territorial. He allowed her because they grew up together and stuff, but he is very, very territorial. So no, we're just going to have him. And when he's gone, then that's it. No more pets. I can't take the stress. But as a result, I ended up redoing my studio. As you can see, this over here is the patio out here, the balcony, if you will. So anyways, let's get on with the video. Imagine if one choice, one deeply personal decision completely shifted the way you view yourself, the way you build relationships, the way you embrace life itself. For me, ABDL did exactly that. See, for me, ABDL just isn't a lifestyle or a label. It's a journey of self-acceptance, of vulnerability, finding one's own path in a world that most fail to grasp the concept that everybody is different, that everybody has their own lives to live. They have their own paths to follow. ABDL has taught me so much. From the moment I discovered ABDL, well, the whole diaper and such, I felt a mix of confusion, curiosity, and at some point, and eventually, relief. Because the first time I heard ABDL, suddenly there was a word, a group, and a lifestyle that mirrored what I felt inside all of these years, but have never really was able to express. I realized what I was into wasn't an escape from reality or a phase I was going through. It was reconnecting with my authentic self, my authentic me. But I have to tell you that my struggles of self-discovery was a long, bumpy, and very, very hard road. This thing I was involved in that at the time I didn't even know had a name to it, let alone other people involved, clouded my view of myself. I felt so much shame and disgust for what I was doing. But yet at the same time, it felt like something that was right for me. But the question still haunted me. Was I the only one that had these feelings? What if everyone, friends, family, whatnot, and what have you, was to find out? It was a very, very confusing time. I already had layers on my young little shoulders. At the time I was only like, 4'9". I think I hit 4'11". And when I was 25, I started to grow again. And I grew like a whole foot in a year. But I was like 4'11". I was a little short shit until I was 25. But I had a lot of that shit on my shoulders. Being gay in a world that wanted to harm me, or worse, didn't even want me to exist as a person. Didn't even want me to exist on the planet. Those of you that were around back in the 80s, you remember the comments, I think they should take all them there homosexuals and put them all on an island and then nuke the damn island. Get rid of the herd of them. Also, me being so shy that I couldn't even talk to people And if somebody said hi to me or anything, I would get sick to my stomach. I was just really, really shy. Being bullied relentlessly, physically, mentally, sexually. Later we find out it's called SA, but who knew back then? Who knew? And now I have this other fucking layer on. It was very confusing times back then. And if it wasn't for my grandmother's words, and you've heard them before, that doesn't kill you will only make you stronger, I would have given up years ago. And at one point in my life, I almost did exactly that. But as I said, after years and years, I finally found out what this thing was called, ABDL. And once I embraced the ABDL side of me, understanding that it is just part of who I am, I started to see myself with greater kindness. And of course, this allowed my self-acceptance to flourish. Through ABDL, I learned that discovering yourself isn't about fitting in to society's box. It's about understanding and honoring what truly feels right for you. ABDL made relationships more challenging, but more rewarding. Oh, and let me just tell you this. When I came out as ABDL, I learned really fucking fast who my true friends were. There ain't an ounce of bullshit in that statement. But I quickly learned that being authentic about myself and the ABDL side of me required radical honesty and careful timing, and how fast people try to put their feelings in front of your own. Did you ever think how this was going to affect me? How people were going to look at me for hanging out with somebody who wears a diaper and shit? No, not really. But then again, this isn't about you. I don't give a damn about your feelings. I'm not even looking for your acceptance or approval. I have chosen to tell you because this is part of who I am. If you decide you would rather not be friends with me, so be it. But I will not lose who I am to protect your feelings. That was actually a conversation I had with a now ex-friend. But at one point, sharing something so personal about myself was intimidating as hell. Not so much now, but at the time, it was very, very fucking intimidating. So that's why now, before we even talk about getting together romantically or not, they know that I'm ABDL. And of course, through the years, not everybody has reacted positively to me telling them. Let's just be honest here. And sometimes finding friends was a struggle, and finding a date was even harder. But that level of transparency to who I am lays a foundation of trust. If they can accept this part of me, they will accept all of me. And as I've said before, they either get all of me or none of me. So learning who would accept me without judgment became a critical part of my journey. ABDL showed me how to truly value and cherish the connections with old friends, with new friends, with family who were accepting of me. And those relationships and connections are still strong to this day. One of the greatest and most unexpected gifts from ABDL has been its role in my self-care routine. It offers a calming, more grounded presence in my life, creating a ritual that helped me to shed anxiety that comes with daily life. Embracing ABDL became a form of mindfulness, letting me pause, reset, and feel more anchored into the present. ABDL helped me to soften those harsh voices of criticism and instead see myself with more understanding. Treat myself with the same compassion that I extended to others. A lot of times we don't give ourselves enough compassion. We extend it to others, but we don't give it to ourselves. Well, I give it to myself because I'm the most important person in my life. Just like you are the most important person in your life. You have friends, you have family, and you may have kids, you may have a spouse or something of that nature and stuff. But if you can't accept yourself, how are you going to accept someone else? If you can't accept the person that you are around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, from the time you're born to the time you die. If you can't accept that person, then you can't accept anybody else. So accept yourself first. Now, we all know ABDL isn't mainstream, and sometimes a misunderstanding surrounding it can be a bit overwhelming, because society has its rules, it has its boxes, and to be honest, ABDL doesn't fit comfortably in any of them. And facing that fact made me stronger, more resilient, and more determined to stay true to myself. ABDL also has helped me to become more of an advocate by educating those close to me, as well as those I don't even know, about what ABDL actually is and what it is not, by dismantling myths and building bridges of understanding. The ABDL community has helped me to connect with others who are into the same thing, and it showed me that I wasn't alone in this thing. I wasn't this freak of fucking nature. I was with more people. There was more people out there that enjoyed the same type of lifestyle, or the same journey I'm on, they're on. And it made me feel more normal, if you will. These people understood and appreciated this lifestyle for what it is. Together, we support, uplift, and respect each other. Not everybody respects each other in this community. We're just like any other community. We have our people who think that they know best, what's best for all of us and so forth. God bless them. But they think they know everything, the gatekeepers, as it were. But for the most part, we uplift and respect each other, which in turn brings a sense of belonging that is vital to everyone. ABDL showed me that being myself fully and unapologetically was so powerful. It brings a sense of purpose and inner peace that conforming never could. The experience of facing judgment but still standing strong and firm in who I am taught me resilience. Embracing the ABDL side of me has taught me how important it is to support others by encouraging them to be themselves no matter what journey they're on. So see, ABDL just hasn't changed my life. It has given me a new life, a life that's open, honest, and unafraid. It has been a source of growth, a place of refuge, and an invitation to embrace the person I am without apology. This journey I am on isn't about fitting in or seeking approval. It's about discovering the most authentic version of myself and living that truth boldly. ABDL changed my life because it taught me the power of self-acceptance, true self-acceptance. ABDL isn't something I'm into. It is part of me, what makes me me. And to be honest, I wouldn't have it any other way. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and comment on how ABDL has changed you for the better or for the worst. And until the next time, stay little, stay happy.